coming off of, 2 games this week. So congrats to them. Disappointed in the loss. I thought we fought. We did some good things, but you can't turn the ball over 18 times, and you have to do a better job from the foul line. I thought those 2 things were a big part of the game and a big reason why we weren't able to get the win. So congratulations to them. Any questions?
Jeff, with the you had talked about the turnovers there. From your vantage point, did there seem to be a common theme with them? Were there things that
Well, we talked about coming into the game that we have to be strong with the ball. They lead the league in steals. I think they average around 9 steals a game and force 15 turnovers. So we knew that. We weren't strong with the basketball. Some of the decision making wasn't good. That's what happened, but that's what they do. That's their defense. They steal the basketball.
Jeff, you guys went through another rut where you scored like 4 points in the last 8.5 minutes of the game. You guys have been trying to work your way out of those type of funks. What kind of changes do you need to see on the court so that you guys snap out of those quicker?
We have to make shots. That's what we have to do. We have to make shots and we have to execute better. But it would help if we make some shots. We did in the second half. We shot 60% in the second half, but like you mentioned, down the stretch, we have to be able to play through contact. There was a lot of contact out there today, and we have to be able to play through that. We have to be able to finish through that, to finish through contact. We had a couple of opportunities in transition where we have to finish. Where we don't, we get fouled, but we went 1 for 2 at the line or maybe 0 for 2. In those situations, you got to finish.
Jeff, your thoughts on Ithiel Horton's game?
Yeah, he played well. Made some shots for us. Got into a good rhythm there. Ithiel's a good player. We need him to believe all the time he's a good player.
What can you say about the difference in the first half and second half for Au'Diese Toney? I think he didn't score the first 18 minutes, and I think he finished with 15.
Yeah, we was able to make some shots. Sometimes it's just as simple as that. He was able to make shots. The ball went into the basket for him. I like the fact that he rebounded. He had 9 rebounds today. Which is something he hadn't done in the past few games, that he had done really well at a very high level early in the season. And so you just got to make some shots.
Jeff, with a week to prepare for this game, did you have a good sense that things might have gone better than what they did?
I don't understand the question.
What I mean is, you had a lot of time to prepare for this game. Did he feel maybe you might have had a better effort, had better production from you guys because you had so much time to prepare?
We didn't have a bad effort. Our guys fought. We played hard. There were some mistakes that we made that just happened sometime in the game. So I don't know exactly how to answer that. We did have a week to prepare. I thought we were prepared. In the first half, we turned the ball over 13 times. That's something that we didn't prepare for. But they did a good job of stealing the basketball, and we were careless. And I thought we settled in the second half. We didn't turn it over quite as much in the second half. Would have liked to have gotten to the foul line a little bit more. We drove it, trying to draw some contact. But I guess they teach their guys greatly not to foul.
Jeff, what were the biggest problems Wright gave you guys down low today?
Yeah, well, he's a really good player, and I think he's given a lot of people in this league problems. He's patient. He's a high percentage field goal shooter. Offensive rebounds. They play him. They run a lot of stuff through him. He leads their team coming into the game in field goal attempts, and had a heck of a game this afternoon.
Jeff, what can you say for X's work? He came out, he struggled in the first half with 5 turnovers, but you saw him be a big part of the comeback that allowed you guys to tie it up and get back in the fight.
Yeah, he had 6 turnovers in the first half. He's got to be better there. We need him in the game. It hurt us when we didn't have him in the game, when that call was reversed from a foul on Alvarado to a foul on Xavier and a flagrant. All of a sudden it becomes his 3rd and 4th foul. And we have to get him out of the game. And so had to sit for a while. There were a lot of minutes left. But we need him in the game. Played 11 minutes in the first half, only played 9 in the second half. There's a difference when he's not in the game for us.
The two technical fouls early in the second half. What happened with those two plays?
The two technical fouls when?
Early in the second half.
Yeah, I don't know. You have to ask the officials on it. I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't know.
Jeff, you had talked a little bit earlier about contact in that game. How did it seem to impact your guys, and how did they seem to kind of handle it?
Well, when you're playing against a team that's really going after the ball, swiping at the ball, trying to get steals, you just have to be able to be mentally and physically tough to finish. You have to be able to finish through contact. And then hopeful that, if there's a lot of contact, maybe you get a foul call. Until it was 13, 15 seconds left, they only had 14 fouls in the second half. And, we're a team that tries to drive the basketball. And so we have to do a better job of playing through contact. We have to be stronger.
And we had talked a little bit earlier in the season about Ithiel being maybe a little bit too much, of a perfectionist, of putting too much pressure on himself. How much have you noticed that sort of mental strain with him change? Does it seem like he's doing that less? And do you think that that's contributed some to his better play over the past 2 months?
I think he set out a whole year and he switched levels, going from a mid-major to a high major. And so everything is different. I don't think people don't fully appreciate the impact that it has when you don't play and you're not in competition for a whole year. And so I think as the season's going on, I think you see him start to feel a little bit more comfortable, out there and more confident. And he's a good player, that's why we have him here. And we need him to be a good player throughout.
Big picture now, quick turnaround for Wednesday, and now 5 losses in a row. How do you take that second half effort and try to turn it around against NC State Wednesday?
Yeah, I don't think we've had 5 losses in a row. We beat Virginia Tech a couple of games ago. But it is a quick turnaround. We have to be ready. NC State, I know it's going to be a hungry basketball team. They've dealt with some adversity. And so we have to be ready. We have to be ready to defend ball screens. They do that a lot. I saw the last game. They started 2 bigs, which means they probably do a really good job of pounding the glass. And we know they want to play at a fast tempo. And so, again, with us turning the basketball over before Wednesday, we have to really rectify that.
When we talked with Coach Cape, ball pressure was something that came up with Georgia Tech a lot. How did you all prepare for that? And what sort of because that's a team that capitalizes a lot on steals. What impact did it seem to have on you guys?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
No. I guess how did you all prepare for Georgia Tech's ball pressure? They're a team that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
What impact did it seem to have on y'all?
Coach was just reiterating how we had to be really strong with the ball and how we had to step to our passes, how we had to, fight for our position to get open because they were a very physical team. You saw that their hands were all over the ball. The hands were all over us, sometimes. And, we just had to, we were working on beat cuts in practice, working on getting open. But, I think, just couldn't, do what we needed to do. Couldn't do what we needed to do.
Ithiel, how tough is it to fight through contact, and what can you do better so you can be better prepared or be better able to fight through that?
It's tough fighting through contact. It's tough fighting through contact, getting the ball, and then looking what you have, because by the time you fight through the contact, you're looking at the defense and I might have already missed the play. Because I know I do that sometimes. I miss some cuts. I miss who's in the post. And to just to kind of work on it, just to work on it every day in practice, footwork, kind of, hand work, working on swim moves or working on getting into them, putting your elbow into them and, spinning into them and getting the ball and, just little things, just working on that.
Did you feel a little bit of pressure or maybe a little more responsibility when Xavier got in foul trouble and missed most of the second half?
Yeah, I felt a lot of, I didn't feel a lot of pressure, but I felt a lot of responsibility to, help keep my team in the game. And I didn't do it alone. Obviously, our D's came in, stepped up. Justin came in, stepped up. Femi came in, stepped up and ran the one for us. And Kareem was obviously battling down low. So, it wasn't just me. It was everybody on the team that stepped up and kept them in the game.
Ithiel, outside of just the the basketball knowledge and trying to keep your game together, Georgia Tech was being very physical with you guys all game, and in the second half, their fifth foul only came with a few seconds left, and you got called for a technical. It seemed for saying and one. What are you guys talking to each other, try to keep your heads in those moments? Because that seems like that's difficult when you're on the road and this is one of the few places that's allowed to have fans while you're going through all this.
Yeah, I mean, just telling each other to stay together and, to just stay focused on the purpose and stay focused on the goal. I believe X got into it with Usher in the first half. And, our coach JC told us that you're more important to us than he is to them. And so, just having our coaching staff behind us and having our leaders like Ardis and Justin, kind of keeping us together and saying, listen, like we got just share that with us. You know what I'm saying? Don't use that externally. Share that with us. We need that.
If you like Georgia Tech's one of the teams that probably talks more, I guess comparatively in that conference, how much of a difference is there to prepare for that versus actually being out there and having to kind of withstand it?
It's more, for the talking side, it's more psychological than physical. Obviously you got the physical part of the game you have to worry about, but then at the same time, you have to realize that, this is what they do. And if you come out here and you let them get in your head, obviously they've won the game before we've even started making points and playing defense, so, and withstanding, it's once you get out there, you realize that, okay, that stuff kind of fuels me. I like it when they, when they start talking, that gets me in, you know what I'm saying? So it's not hard to withstand it.
Big struggles at the end of the first half, 4 points in the last 9 minutes, and he came out really on fire throughout the second half. What kind of, was there anything specific that kind of turned the key there and kind of unlocked your offense in the second half?
Just trusting the work. First half I was just, I don't know how I was just out of it for some reason. But then I came in, I switched my shoes. I don't know if that had something to do with it. And I just told myself that, look, come on, you gotta step up your game. You one of the leaders on this team. You got to step it up. You got to come out here and it just kind of flipped. Plus, when Coach banged on he banged on one of the lockers, kind of telling us to get together, and that kind of just snapped me out of my funk I was in. So,
if we had talked with you earlier, earlier during this season, I think it was after the Miami game, and you had talked a lot about, early in the season putting too much pressure on yourself, being a bit of a perfectionist. How much has that gone away over the past 2 months, and how much do you feel like that's impacted or shaped your game?
I feel like it's gone away a lot. Obviously, I've just kind of took a step back from myself and just said, listen, you played this game all your life. Just go out there and do what you do. You don't have to, if you make a mistake, so what? Get back on defense and get it back. Get a rebound, get a steal. And, I credit Justin Champagny because he was really helping me a lot with the psychological standpoint, just telling me to, keep going. Like, you still that dude, we need you to make big plays for us. And I believe it's showing right now. I'm going to stay down. We still got a lot more games left, but I believe I'm stepping into the role I'm supposed to play.
Ithiel, was it saying and one that got you the technical?
Yeah, it wasn't even like an aggressive and one. It was just like a and one. Like, don't you see, like, the dude's draped all over and one, like, and I guess I don't know what's wrong with that dude.
You guys have faced that a lot this season where you guys, I think might have been the last game at home where you guys, someone else said and one and the ref stopped the game. Again, you guys seem to go up against those a lot where you're playing physical basketball. Jeff talked about last week how people are getting much more physical with Justin, and he's not even getting calls for that anymore. That's got to be something tough to process and stay focused on, your play. How do you keep the ball moving? How do you stop the ball on defense? Can you talk to just about those kind of challenges week in and week out?
It's tough. Because when you fight all week in practice, you prepare in the film room and, to kind of just have an external factor affect the game in a negative way, it really hurts. It really hurts, but we got to just stay grounded. We got to stay focused and believe in what we do. Obviously, the refs aren't going to be on our side, given that we just Pitt, I don't know why. But we're gonna continue to keep fighting. Like, we're not done yet. We don't care what other factors out there. We're gonna continue to believe in what we do, and we're gonna hit the practice floor tomorrow prepared.